Hi there, my name is Matty, and in this video I'll be going over the stats for my 4th month selling digital products on Etsy. As usual, before we actually get into the figures, I want to give you a rundown of the month. If you're not interested in that and you only want to see the stats, you can skip ahead to the timestamp on the screen right now and you can jump over and have a look at those numbers. So 4 months, still going strong, although I have both good and bad news for this month. So starting with the bad news, I set a target of £3,000 in revenue last month for me to try and hit in month 4. And unfortunately, I have to say that I didn't hit my target this time around. November has been a super busy month for me outside of Etsy. I was on holiday for a week, and right after my holiday, I felt quite ill, and so I didn't spend a lot of time on my shop at all. And when I was on holiday, I forgot to turn on my store's sale discounts. So typically what I do is with my products, I hike the prices up, but then set a daily sale so that it looks like my shop's on offer and it entices customers to buy my products. But because I forgot to turn on the daily sales whilst I was on holiday, my products were a lot more expensive. And although some people did buy the products, it was very clear when I got back that a lot of people were not buying my products. And as a result, I did earn less money, and it has also affected my conversion rate. In the past month as well, I've only uploaded 10 new listings, which is barely anything. I still have a list of products I want to create and upload to my shop. So going forward in month 5, I'm going to dedicate a lot more time and effort into my store. The good news is, however, is that it still was not a bad month at all. Although I didn't hit my target, the stats for this month I would say are still pretty good, and I'm very happy with them. And like I said, I barely worked on my store this month, so all of the figures you're going to see were mostly done entirely passively, which is pretty cool to me. It's nice to see that my store will just continue to generate an income for me now with me not having to do much. But of course, I want to build this store even further and take those figures even higher, as I don't want to settle where I am just yet. Talking about stats and figures, let's jump onto my Etsy shop and have a look at those numbers. So here we are on my shop looking at the stats for month 4. Now, like we usually do, I'm going to give you a run through of these 4 numbers here you can see in the top left, starting with visits. So in month 4, I had a total visit count of 6,685. And you can see it fluctuates like normal. I mean, this is pretty standard, it always happens. But what you can see is here, there is a significant dip that goes down during the weekday. Now on the 8th was when I actually went on holiday, and I think around this time is when I forgot to start doing my daily sale reset. And you can see there's a proper dip that goes down. It goes up again, but it just continuously goes down. And then once I got back from my holiday, I was like, oh, I forgot to run the daily sales. But then I also wasn't feeling very well either, so I didn't want to dedicate a lot of time. And I think as a result, the general stats for month 4 suffered. That's okay, it's not the end of the world. But yeah, there is a significant dip here for visits. Other than that, I'd say it's pretty standard looking. There does seem to be a sort of downward slope generally from the amount of visits that I'm getting, but I'm hoping I can turn this around now in month 5. So orders is at 416. Again, that's a great number, so of course I'm very happy with that. And you can see that it's very random, but around the 8th-ish time was when there was a significant drop in the amount of orders I was getting, as you can see. Generally, I'd be hitting about 20-ish, maybe even 15, around those numbers. But from the 8th, which is when I went on holiday, it just plummeted and went down. And obviously, because my products were a lot more expensive, as I mentioned in the beginning of the video, less people were buying the product. So of course, I'm going to be getting less orders. If we take a look at the conversion rate, it's now sitting at 6.2%. So this is the lowest I've had my conversion rate so far in all of the time I've had my Etsy shop open. So previously it was sitting at around 7.1%. I'm not too upset that it's dropped down to 6.2 because that's still way above average. So it's still a good number, but what I'm hoping I'll be able to do is the next month boost that back up to 7%, hopefully. The only reason I can think of why it's gone down is because the same issue I've had just generally with the week when I was on holiday and afterwards when I wasn't feeling well. My products were more expensive because I forgot to run the daily sales, and as a result, people were clicking on the products, but they were less likely to buy them, which of course is going to negatively impact your conversion rate. Finally, we have the revenue, which for month 4 is £2,155.77. Now this graph is generally quite funky looking. It seems to be going up and down quite a bit. But again, highlighting the 8th-ish was when I went on holiday for about a week or so and then fell ill. You can see there is a big dip, and I think that is one of, if not my lowest point on Etsy for month 4. So you can see that me not being around to actually set my daily sales on my shop did actually affect me in month 4. So those are the stats for my 4th month selling digital products on Etsy. Now, as always, the revenue is not my take-home pay, as we need to take into account Etsy fees. Total revenue for this month was £2,155.77, or roughly $2,716. The total profit for this month after Etsy fees, so this is my actual take-home pay for month 4, is £1,581.20, or roughly $1,992. Like I said, although it isn't the £3,000 revenue target that I was aiming for, I'm still very happy with the results, and I'm still determined to try and hit that target next month. I'm not really sure how month 5 will play out, as it's Christmas time and my products don't really cater towards anything Christmas related. I would imagine the people in my niche that I cater towards might be too busy during this time of the year, as Christmas generally is a very busy period for everyone, but that's fine. I'm still interested to see how this month will pan out. As I mentioned, my goal last month was hitting £3,000 in revenue, which I unfortunately did not hit. So I'm going to try again this month and see how it turns out. I have a lot more free time in comparison to November to dedicate to Etsy, so I'm going to try my absolute best and see what I can make of it. Thank you for watching this video. I do hope you found it interesting and in some way useful. The next video I'll have out in a couple of weeks will be the next episode in my Etsy Success Guide series. If you've not seen it, it's basically a collection of several videos in which I'm telling you all of my tricks and methods I've been using to find success on Etsy. So if you're a beginner on Etsy, or if you're looking to start selling products online, I would highly recommend you check those videos out. With all that being said, I just want to thank you again for watching this video. So thank you. If you found it interesting, I would really appreciate it if you could give the video a thumbs up. And if you've got any questions or comments, feel free to leave them in the comment section down below, and I will be sure to get back to you as soon as I can. So with that all being said, I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.